Hey everybody, Dr. Mark Romano here. Hope everyone is having an absolutely fabulous day. Very excited today that I am joined by Dr. Jonathan Gleed, a Palmer graduate who is no longer in the chiropractic profession, practicing something very different over in Europe. Dr. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure, Dr. Mark. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, my friend. And folks, we're going to have a wonderful debate today with obviously very sharp fella. And we're talking about the existence of vertebral subluxation. So super excited. And Jonathan, I got to tell you, I appreciate you coming on and having these discussions. They're vital in our growth and quest for truth. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me on. And you're right. I mean, it really is the point of this is getting to the truth of things. So if this helps other practitioners, other chiropractors, then that's awesome. Happy to help.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, on the topic today is are vertebral subluxations real? Do they exist? So, I am going to take the side of the debate that they do exist. And Jonathan's going to take the side of the debate that they don't exist. If we have time, we're going to try to keep this within 20 minutes. And if we have time, and if you were interested, Jonathan, would you be interested in switching sides of the debate in the middle if we have time?
Do you know, I couldn't do that because I am, through experience, I would be arguing a false claim at that point. And I can't,
Okay.
I couldn't do that to be fair. I'd be making it
Okay.
up like that would be nonsense to me.
I love it. I love it. It's such a bold statement. So I'll go ahead and start. I'll go ahead and start. Both of us have trained at Palmer College. What year did you graduate?
2006, I got out.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I graduated in 93 and very cool. I'm sure we crossed paths at some point. So, chiropractic itself as a profession, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and start now. So I'm on the clock. Chiropractic as a profession started as something called physical medicine. The treatment of conditions and symptoms, getting sick people well through the adjustment of vertebral subluxations. Now, probably in the late 60s, early 70s, Reggie Gold created what is known as the non-therapeutic profession, to where chiropractic totally being separate and distinct as the original creators intended, DDBJ Stevenson. However, they never left the realm of physical medicine and getting sick people well. What Reggie did was say, look, we all know vertebral subluxations are always bad because they interfere with the expression of innate impulses. And therefore, the adjustment is always good, allowing for a fuller expression of life. Hence, the non-therapeutic model was born. The one thing that is the common thread is the existence of vertebral subluxations, that chiropractic works within the realm of what is possible, and that we have these 26 segments of these bones, these vertebrae that make up the spinal column, and that it is possible. It is possible that these bones at some point can misalign, and they misalign in a way that changes the structure of the spine, and that the openings between them are somehow occluded, that this is possible, and that there are no empty spaces within the body. So when we occlude an opening or a foramen in some way, whether it's through the spinal cord or through the intervertebral foramen, that because a bone is out of line and because there is a change in structure, now the openings are smaller, which somehow can produce some element of pressure that is outside innate normal to nerve tissue. And that's going to interfere with the function of the nerve tissue to both transmit innate impulses in the efferent pathway from the brain to the body, as well as interfere possibly with the afferent pathway of trophic impulse from the body back to the brain. And that this is possible, chiropractic working in the realm of possibility, that this entity, a vertebral subluxation, having four components, and once again, combining the physical with the metaphysical, that a bone can misalign, somehow occlude a foramen, and somehow put pressure on nerve and somehow interfere with the metaphysical component. And all of these have metaphysical attributes. That this is well within the realm of possibility, and that the innate law. Once again, we look at the 33 principles of chiropractic not as a philosophical concept, but a basic science concept. That the innate law, whose objective within the body is to adapt the body of the matter which it resides, will work within the matter so long as it cannot do so without breaking universal law in trying to adjust that bone back to its innate normal position. Therefore, every chiropractic analysis is analyzing what is the innate law trying to do in regards to restoring a vertebral subluxation back to its innate normal position. So within the realm of possibility, chiropractic acknowledges that a vertebral subluxation is very, very possible. Go ahead, Doc.
Right. Let me just start by saying that obviously you and I had the same training. You no doubt got to listen to Dr. Strang, Dr. Coe, Dr. Barge at Palmer. So we have the same sort of philosophical grounding. And I'll be honest with you, that's one of the best explanations of the subluxation theory I've ever heard. So well done for the way you can
Thank
communicate
you.
that. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, but let's just clarify a couple of things. Chiropractic is not based on subluxation. D.D. Palmer created chiropractic. His first students were medical doctors, osteopaths, and lay people. Now, those people came to study his work not because of his philosophy on chiropractic, because of the results he was getting. Okay, that's why they wanted to learn. They went out and started practicing, and within just 15 years of starting training people, he had to write a book, his 1910 book called The Chiropractor's
That's
Adjuster,
it. That's it.
because chiropractors had already gone so far off track from what he had said that the profession was already becoming unrecognizable. Now, if you read the 1910 book, and the 1910 book is like the Bible for Christians, right? Most Christians haven't read the Bible. Most chiropractors haven't read the 1910 book. But if you read the chiropractor's adjuster, on the first couple of pages, Didi is very clear. The basic of chiropractic is based on tone, not subluxation. Okay. So Didi identified the problem straight away that chiropractors had gone off track. Chiropractors did not listen to him. And what you see is the green books, Stevenson's work, all of those guys, all the way up through Gold and the so-called great chiropractic philosophers, have all been barking up the wrong tree because they've all been basing their work on the previous philosopher's work. But Didi said in 1910 that was wrong. So if we just use a bit of logic around subluxation, let's just say you have somebody who's got irritable bowel syndrome, okay? And most chiropractors will have dealt with this. They go to a chiropractor. Now, first things first, are they a subluxation based chiropractor or are they not? Because there's two types of chiropractors at least, right? Because in this part of the world, in Britain, they are not trained in subluxation theory. But if they go to a subluxation based chiropractor and they say, hey, doc, I got IBS. And the chiropractor says, I know exactly what's going on. Lower thoracic nerves, lumbar nerves come out of the spine into the guts. When a subluxation is there, as you've described, it will interfere with the afferent and efferent, and you will have gut problems. So we're going to realign your spine, remove the subluxations, and you'll get better. And they do. And there are plenty of chiropractors who've had success with that. Somebody else goes to an acupuncturist and says, hey, I got IBS. And the acupuncturist says, sure, let me have a look. And they go, well, you know what? It's your energy meridians that go through your stomach. They are not correct. I'm going to put these needles in your body, rebalance the energy, and your guts will be fine. Again, plenty of acupuncturists, and that's a 3,000 year old tradition, not a 100+ year old tradition, have had success with IBS. As well as that, you will have people with IBS that have gone to a nutritionist and said, hey, got IBS. And they'll go, let's talk about your diet. And they'll look at the diet and they go, well, of course you got IBS. Look at this diet. It's terrible. So we're going to change your diet and I'm going to give you supplements. And they get better from IBS. Okay, so all three of those things have happened. Nutritionists, acupuncturists, and chiropractors all have success with IBS. If the subluxation theory is real, then how does the acupuncturist and the nutritionist get results? Because they don't even know what subluxation is. But also, if acupuncture theory is real, how does the chiropractor get results and the nutritionist? And if it really was about the food, then the chiropractor and the acupuncturist who haven't mentioned diet wouldn't be able to get results. So logically, we can take from that that it can't be the subluxation causing the problem because two of the three practitioners wouldn't have been able to fix it. And we can also logically say that actually, if they're all getting results with their physical approach, then it must be a metaphysical reason that the person is healing. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you. This is going to be a great picture of the two different models of chiropractic. In the non-therapeutic model, we are not looking for results. We are looking for result. And the result is that a vertebral subluxation has been adjusted. We do not associate, we disassociate completely from health and healing completely, that we do not know what physiological response is going to happen. We simply know the body is going to be stronger. So what you're saying in DD, I do have new appreciation for DD. I have been in wonderful discussions and reading the articles of Eric Sealer, who is very devout follower of DD Palmer, and I appreciate him very much. Like you, brilliant mind. Yes, DD was into spiritualism. DD was into autosuggestion, and the tone that DD talks about can be taken into many different directions, still used even in chiropractic in regards to analysis. So the difference that we're talking here, Doc, is yes, there are things out there that people live 100 years old, never see a chiropractor, and overcome a lot of things. A lot of conditions go away, and they've never seen a chiropractor. What the non-therapeutic chiropractor claims is that they never lived to their full potential because they were living with vertebral subluxations that were interfering with the expression of innate impulses in some way, even when they overcome all of these things. Metaphysically, there is no question that people get well through all these other avenues. And D.D. Palmer was also big on autosuggestion. And I know that because I wrote a paper on that when I was at school. And when I was at school, I did touch on D.D. Palmer, but I was very much more devout, dogmatic follower of B.J. Palmer in his blue books, reading volume 18 many times and reading Stevenson's many times as well, even to this day. Claude Lessard, I highly recommend. He broke down Stevenson's into 4 books. Highly recommend taking the 33 principles into basic science and not a philosophical concept. So the question that I would have for you, Doc, do you think, and obviously you're doing something great, there's no question about it, and I would even say it could be better than chiropractic, based on your experience, not as a treatment of any condition or symptom, does the vertebral subluxation exist, period, in
No,
your and and
not at all.
so do you think in any way that a bone of the spine could possibly misalign? Is that even possible?
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. But the point of, it was DD that said, wasn't it? All disease is caused by subluxation, basically.
And BJ said that too. And by the way, I disagree with that myself. So
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 that's
keep on going.
before I just go on that, can I just go back to what you said right at the beginning? You said
Absolutely.
you don't focus on results, you focus on the result, which is removing the subluxation, right?
Adjustment of the vertebral subluxation. Yes,
So
doc.
it's not about what the client comes in with or the result they get. Is that correct?
Well, that's a great point. When you give this message, you build the practice with people who resonate. When we have a consultation or orientation, we explain what we do. And then we give our members the opportunity to accept or reject it. And when you build a practice of this nature, which is what I have, people refer others in to say, hey, it logically makes sense. Live a better life when vertebral subluxations are adjusted. So if you're consistent, you build a practice with people who want this service.
Okay. So I did a little research on your practice. I did a little research on mine. So what I did was I said to AI, pull up everything you can find that's been written about Dr. Mark's results. Okay. Pull up everything you can find about me that's been written about my results and compare and contrast the two in a very short paragraph. Okay. So there's no waiting of the prompt. I've just said, how's he doing? How's I'm doing? Let's compare it. And I'd just like to share with you what AI has said. And this is what it appears on the net, right? So this isn't, AI hasn't spoken to any of your clients or mine. It's just what people write about you and me. Okay.
Yeah.
So AI says, when you read the reviews, this is not subtle. Dr. Romano's patients say he's a good guy, reliable, and helpful over the long term. Solid, steady care. But they are not describing transformations.
Correct. Correct.
By contrast, patients at the Health Advantage describe life-changing, dramatic outcomes using words like amazing, miraculous, magician, and even wizard, often after years of failed treatments elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's the real distinction here. One
Yeah.
set of reviews reflects ongoing management, the other reflects profound change. And patients don't exaggerate language like that unless something genuinely different has happened. So when I practiced chiropractic, I had your practice. I managed people along.
I,
Okay.
I I don't know if you did. Yeah, I don't think we had the same kind of practice, Doc, but go ahead.
Well, my results and my reviews were like yours. Okay. You weren't really changing things, you were managing problems. Okay. That's what it appears like. When I stopped practicing chiropractic, added the metaphysical principles of healing to my practice, now people are coming to me 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years of problems and getting fixed within weeks.
So
Okay.
awesome.
Getting their lives back, not having to keep coming back in, not having to manage anything. Like I am fixed, I am perfectly healthy. And that's how I like to practice. I don't want to go to a mechanic with a clunking engine in my car and he's going to just kind of tinker with it and keep it going, but it's still going to be clunking. I want a guy that's going to fix it and I want him to fix it quickly. And this is the problem with chiropractic and why the utilization rate of chiropractic is so low. You know, it's what, 15% of people in the US use a chiropractor? It's because they don't get the results that they truly want. People do not want to be managed, they want to be fixed. And that is where the subluxation theory and chiropractic in general lets everybody down. I had a woman come into me last year in a lot of pain, like hobbled in, and sat her down. I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Oh, 30 years, I've had this problem for ages, 30 years." I said, "Have you tried anything?" She said, "Yeah, I tried this, tried that. I've been seeing a chiropractor regularly. I love my chiropractor." I go, "How long have you been seeing the chiropractor?" She says, "Oh, about 30 years." I say, "How often?" She goes, "Every 6 weeks." And you're in this mess? And I was furious. I was furious. 3 weeks with me, she's pain free, back to normal life. Right? Now, if that was your mother or your wife or your daughter,
Or myself.
you'd be pretty miffed about that chiropractor, wouldn't you? I don't
No.
talk to many chiropractors over here.
Yeah. No, I
I got
wouldn't be
one
miffed at
good
all.
buddy who's also, who I'm very close to, and I called him up and I just gave him a gobful and said, "I don't know what's going on with chiropractic, man, but that is disgusting to leave somebody in that much pain and to take that much time and money off them when they could be fixed like that is why chiropractic is failing. And if chiropractors actually cared about their results, they wouldn't worry about their philosophy. They wouldn't worry about their technique. But unfortunately, because chiropractic's results are so inconsistent and so average, look, you practice chiropractic for long enough, you're going to see some miracles. But you can sit a monkey in front of a typewriter and eventually you'll get a word. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
DD fixed pretty much anything, which is why those original chiropractors were medical doctors and osteopaths. He fit and he went for those, he was like baldness, T4, epilepsy, T9. He
yeah.
could
That'd be
do
great if it was that
it, right? But
easy.
well, it was for him, you see, Dr. Mark. It was
No,
that
that's
easy for him. Because then if you say DD's lying, then your whole profession is based on a lie. Now, I can tell you as an ex-chiropractor, I had a good practice, right? I was busy, had a waiting list, one of the most well-known cranial clinics in Britain, working for a top guy. My results were inconsistent and average. Didn't matter how hard I worked, how many philosophy things I went to, how many technique things, average results. The day I stopped doing chiropractic and added the metaphysics of healing into it, my results went through the roof.
and that's
And I'm
John.
in
That's
it for the
awesome.
results, right? I'm in it for the results. That's what matters to me. If this person comes in, how quickly can I get them back to perfect health? How fast can I do that for them? That's
Well,
the issue
I
with
get
chiropractic.
yes. We're talking two different things because obviously you said, okay, a bone can misalign. When you're talking results, you're in the healing profession. Non-therapeutic chiropractic is not in the healing profession. Our exclusive claim is that every human being functions better when vertebral subluxations are adjusted. Hey, look, do I think BJ or DD was lying? That's a strong word. They set a premise. Stevenson took it further, and Reggie took it further, and Claude took it further. It is not a healing profession. There is one entity, hey, and I love it that you get so many people well. I think it's awesome. It is not what I'm doing. This is a maintenance service to be checked on a regular basis for vertebral subluxations. We cannot predict the results because your body is very complicated. Having a fuller expression of life, the possibilities are endless. What if by having a fuller expression of life, this person doesn't have a heart attack 20 years from now? There's no way to measure that. In fact, we cannot measure anything in the human body because we don't know what innate normal is, which is why we have ranges. So the debate that I wanted to have was simply the existence of vertebral subluxation. The practice, the area, and with chiropractic, there is a metaphysical part, which is the innate law of living things. There is a physical part, which is matter and the function of matter. And the link between them is the force expressed by this innate law. So, there is the metaphysical component, but in the end, and the AI said it perfectly. It's perfectly, yes, we're not here treating conditions and offering healing. We're simply saying that having the adjustment of vertebral subluxation is a really great habit. And even though we can't predict which physiological functions will improve, over time, your body will be stronger. When people come to you for healing of these things, I love it. I would go to you for that. I'm still going to see my chiropractor every week to be checked for vertebral subluxations. Because here's the thing, if I was seeing you, doesn't mean I'm not going to have any problems. I've trained to the point of breaking my body. I have blown discs. I have torn muscles. I see a medical doctor. I just saw somebody for stem cells not that long ago, doc. Chiropractic, nothing is a cure-all, and I would even argue there could be things better than chiropractic. But seeing a chiropractor and having that habit is a powerful investment in having the best quality life possible and not the only investment.
The amount of people that come into my clinic with horror stories about how long they've been seeing chiropractors and how much money they've wasted, it just doesn't stack up in real life. I love your enthusiasm for your philosophy, but I'm here for people. All right. I'm here for people. People have a problem. Nobody can help them. They come to me, and I'm the best chance they've got of getting fixed in Europe, probably.
Okay.
Right. And
Okay.
that's my job, right? When somebody's really struggling, and it's not just neck and back pain, we take care of PTSD, we've taken care of anxiety. There's 3 million people in Britain walking around with fibromyalgia, right? An incurable musculoskeletal issue. We can fix it like that.
And I
Read
hope your
the
practice is
reviews,
full of that.
you'll see, right? You'll see. Oh, I
Yeah.
was diagnosed, I've had 10 years of fibromyalgia, 3 or 4 weeks at the Health Advantage, I'm perfectly healthy again.
Right.
Right? I'm in the
I love it.
business of giving people their lives back. I'm not in the
Awesome.
business of, I would literally, if I thought I got the best results by doing it, I would bend them over the table and hit them in the ass with a shovel,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
BJ said that many times. Sure.
I don't care what I do for people, but I now understand that, and I hope chiropractors that see this start to sort of get it. Your
Me too.
chiropractic, whether you're a vitalistic, a mechanistic, a subluxation, whatever, is purely your delivery system, right? It's just the delivery system. What you need in order to get real results is the right heart. Okay, you got to want to help people. Now, a lot of people are in the chiropractic world, they're in it for the money and the ego. Okay. But the chiropractors that have always created the so-called great techniques have always struggled with the inconsistent results and they've looked for something better. The Gonsteads, the Fleets, the Dejanets, whoever, the Logans. But if you really want to help people, you have to understand that it's not the chiropractic, subluxation or not, that does the healing. Okay, it's the metaphysics that does the healing. And that's why I was at a John D. Martini seminar 15 years ago, and he said to me, every form of healing has its place, because I was rah-rah chiropractic. And I didn't understand that until I understood the metaphysics of healing.
Hmm.
Now I do that. I've kind of agreed to do this with you. So I think you're cool. And I think, it's an important, I just want to help chiropractors that want to get better results, right? So the chiropractors that don't care about the results, and there are lots of them, they'll look at this and go, yeah, whatever. But the ones that are like, no, I want to help people. I really, I want to just get that person their life back.
Yeah.
This is their way of getting into what I do at the level that I do it. All right, because nothing else matters to me. I used to spend 30 minutes with a client doing cranial work, and I've got a master's degree in chiropractic from this country, professional diploma in animal chiropractic, SOT, craniopath. None of it mattered. The difference between me now and then is that now I actually get very good and very consistent results, which many people call miraculous, but they're not. And when it comes to quick healing, one of the most damaging books that was ever written was Stevenson's 1924 text, because he introduced limitations of matter. And unfortunately, that does people a lot of damage because there aren't really that many limitations of matter. And that's why now, certainly in this country, in the States, it's probably not a lot of difference, but chiropractors are pretty good at neck and backs, but they're crap at everything else. Um,
I, I, yeah. I guess we're practicing, and here Doc, we're doing two totally different things.
Well,
So,
we
like,
shouldn't be, should we, though, Doc? We should be doing one thing, which is trying to get the best result for that client possible.
we disagree, and we're always going to disagree. My intent is to help as many people have vertebral subluxations adjusted for a fuller expression of life. And that's the result. You're in healing, you're in the therapeutic model of health and healing, and that's fine and that's great. We're just different, Doc. So, we're just doing something. We're in two totally different professions. I know you're helping people from based on what you're saying. I know I'm helping people by helping their body adjust vertebral subluxations for a fuller expression of life. So, in this point, we're coming from two different angles. We're talking two different languages. And unfortunately, we agree on just about everything. And, so let's wrap this up, Doc. What's one thing you want people to know about you as we're wrapping this up, brother? Besides, you're a great guy who's obviously very smart.
For chiropractors that actually care about people, right? For any of those that are listening and want to help people, not worry about their philosophy, not worry about their technique, but actually, when that granny comes in weeping because she's in so much pain, if you want to actually help her and get her out of problems and get her fixed, then you must learn the metaphysical principles of healing. You don't have to change your practice, don't have to change your philosophy. You just plug them in. When you plug them in, your results will go through the roof. Okay, so for the money guys, don't worry about it. For the ego guys, don't worry about it. Keep adjusting your subluxations, keep managing problems, whatever. But for those chiropractors that are aching, their heart hurts because they know they can get better results, but they've tried everything and they can't turn the dial, get in touch with me. I'll point you in the right direction because I know how much you're hurting and I know how much it affects you to get up day to day, going into that clinic, knowing that you are leaving you're not serving people properly. You're just leaving pain and suffering on the table where it shouldn't be there, and there's no need for it to be there. The body heals miraculously when allowed to. Philosophy doesn't heal. Technique doesn't heal. You have to learn about healing. But when you do, your heart will just glow. You can't wait to get into work every morning because you genuinely give people their lives back, and it's an awesome thing. Unfortunately, chiropractic has lost, and I hope chiropractic can save itself one day. But I think realistically, the way it's going, it's a dying art, really, which is really sad.
That folks, that's Jonathan Gleed. Obviously very sincere, and I tremendously respect you taking this time for us to have this conversation. We're in a 6 hour or 5 hour time difference. Um, I am very thankful to be a chiropractor. I am thankful for DD and in his 18 years from 1895 when he discovered chiropractic to 1913 when he passed. I'm thankful for BJ and what he contributed. I am thankful for the 1927 text of R.W. Stevenson that began chiropractic becoming a basic science attribute. I am thankful that I get to be a chiropractor every day with the exclusive objective of helping folks live better through the adjustment of vertebral subluxations. And folks, on the big picture, you've heard the blatant two different models that are within chiropractic and even where Dr. Jonathan has gone with that model. And all I can say is you are obviously very knowledgeable, very sincere, and I'm hoping we can do this again soon on a topic even more specific to our differences. So, Dr. Jonathan, thank you for your time and thank you for your knowledge, my friend.
Thanks very much, Dr. Mark. All the best.
You too, brother. You have a great day.
Cheers now.